morning from the OBX130. I'm just leaving Cedar Creek Campground on the Gig Harbor melon seed. We got about 10 knots of wind, so we're moving really well. Got my hands full at the moment, but I'll check in again shortly. Give you some good video, hopefully. Here we are, blazing along in the melon seed. Beautiful morning. There we go, fall off a little bit, calm things down. Right on my bow is Bill Moffett. Here's McCulloch, Darcy Bryn. Back behind me is Steve and his Hobie TI. And there's two more boats back there leaving port now. Got a single reef in. And making really good time. Should be a sleigh ride up to Portsmouth. Hopefully we can get in before some rain and stuff hits us this afternoon. Talk to you soon. Hello, here we are along Portsmouth Island someplace. Just went through a really big rain squall, so pulled ashore, taking a little break. The melon seed did fine, was a little over canvassed in the squall, but made it ashore safely along with the Tanzer 16.
Now, did you get a picture of me pulling the boat in?
And here's John asking me if I got a picture of him, which I obviously did. Here's one of the great things about sailing in Core Sound, these lovely little drift nets, all these sticks, which I assume have some sort of net or rope or whatnot between them. Definitely not something you want to pass through. Just something to look out for though. Small boats. Fortunately we can maneuver around this stuff. Right now, lots of storm clouds on the horizon. And it all seems to be passing to the west of me. The Hobie and the surprise sloop over there someplace. Darcy Bryn continued downwind, so I'll be chasing her for a little bit here. Otherwise, the melon seed is sailing well. Once again, tucked into a little hidey hole on the shore, waiting for a squall to pass. Had to ride into shore on nothing but bare poles, but it was fun. Hopefully somebody else will show up here soon. I think the others behind me, and Darcy Bryn's somewhere up ahead of me, so I'm somewhere in the middle of the pack. But taking it easy, taking care of the boat, having fun. Bye-bye. We're on the National Seashore. Melon seed, peacefully riding anchor at the moment. There's the squall that just passed over. Maybe a little more weather down that way, but clear skies heading towards us. Should improve here before too long. Making good progress to the north again, back in the channel, passing a bird cay or something over here, probably a breeding ground for something. They're quite noisy. I don't know if you can hear them on the phone. And I've got Darcy Bryn in my sights again. William Moffett has diligently continued south through some of these squalls where I ran and hid on the shore. but I'm reeling him in once again. It's all fun. It's feast or famine on this year's OBX. 1 minute, we've got 20 knots of wind and squalls. The next minute, we got nothing at all. But I'm still catching up to Darcy Bryn. Kind of engaged my jury-rigged tiller clutch here to make it a bit easier to fiddle with the phone and things. Wouldn't use it for anything important. It's not very well thought out, but it will kind of hold the course for a little bit. Anyway, just checking in. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, 20 knots of wind, lacking a second reef point. I've just kind of loosened the halyards, let the sail flap in the jacks. It's at least depowered me enough that, oop, I'm running aground. I can maneuver and keep up with Bill almost, even with that.
The U.S. Coast Guard says a man's personal locator beacon may have saved his life after he had to be medevaced from a sailboat. They say that the man was seasick and having chest pains aboard a 12-foot sailboat near Ocracoke Island yesterday afternoon. The U.S. Coast Guard says they received the personal beacon alert around 3:30 p.m. that was coming about 5 miles west of Portsmouth Island. An HC-130 Hercules plane from Elizabeth City spotted the man waving his arms aboard the sailboat around 6:15 p.m. A rescue swimmer from the helicopter hoisted the man onto the chopper. He was taken to the Outer Banks Hospital in Nags Head for treatment. The Coast Guard says the man's personal locator device really helped them find them, and it may have saved his life.
Welcome to the National Seashore. Probably the most deserted section of beach on Earth. There's Steve communing with nature. The rain is falling, and we're stupid enough to be out here. There's not another living human being for miles, I guarantee it. But it is beautiful in its own strange way. Good morning. Well, it's another rainy, nasty morning in historic Portsmouth Village. Long course down in the National Seashore. We got lots of clouds, lots of rain, and the wind is still blowing a good bit. I think we're probably at 15 to 20 right now, probably too much wind, but it's supposed to drop off and get down 10 to 15. It is coming from the right direction. It's shifted around towards the northeast, and so hopefully we'll be able to get away from here today and at least get headed south down the Sound. The Mountain Seed, well, at the dock, she did pick up about 4 or 5 inches of rain in her cockpit last night. And we have the metallic Darcy Bryn, probably the most comfortable boat for the weather we've been having. And then we have Steve Dahl's very well equipped OBTI with the Octopod. Lots of clouds. That's the way we want to head today. Hopefully the weather will prove it. Good afternoon. We are underway finally after about a 36-hour weather hold. But we're heading south with wind and sea behind us. And right now, since I don't have a second reef point, I just have the spars sitting in the jacks. And the untied down sail has given me enough sail area to do about 3 knots. And before that I had the sail raised and I was outrunning the other fellas so bad that I basically had to drop the sail in the jacks, and now I'm letting them catch up. I have no desire to outrun them and leave them behind. And actually the boat's seakeeping is very manageable in this condition. It's strange. I've never tried to do this before. So hopefully we'll be to Cedar Creek in a few hours. We're almost back to Cedar Creek campground. Steve Dahl and his Hobie TI. He's been flying along and at least trying to keep his mast upright in about 16 knots of wind so that he gets home. Meanwhile, the Melon Seed is flying a very poorly set single reef just so that I can stay behind him. This boat can fly. I honestly think if I was crazy enough to fly the sail well set, I might be able to outrun that TI. She catches a wave and she just rides it. It's beautiful. But we're almost home. Bye-bye. Just flying along. But very much under control. About 2 miles from the finish. Sailing along smartly in company with Steve Dahl and his Hobie TI. Finally things got the first reef actually tight. Wind's lightened up near the shore here a bit. Steve just yelled our estimated time of arrival at the campground where we started, 4:13. We'll see. Fair winds. And we're approaching Cedar Creek campground. Our finish line for the Outer Banks 130, or at least a portion of it we were able to run. Had a heck of a sail back the last leg. Lots of fun, even if the weather wasn't terribly cooperative. Fair winds, see you on the water.